Your BMW is not dying because of some exotic German engineering flaw. It's dying because of something you did this morning without even thinking about it. Right now, there are BMW owners driving around with engines that are wearing significantly faster than they should be, and they have no idea because none of these 7 mistakes feel like mistakes. They feel like normal driving. They feel like being careful, even. Nobody warns you about them because they don't show up as a warning light or a strange noise. They show up years down the road as a bearing issue, a turbo replacement, or a transmission that suddenly won't shift right, and by then nobody connects it back to the small habit that actually caused it. These same engines, the N54, N55, N63, N20, and the rest of the lineup, can genuinely run past 200,000 miles when they're treated right, and plenty of owners have proven that. The engines that make it to 200,000 miles and the ones that get parted out at 90,000 were built on the exact same assembly line. What separates them is what the owner did without realizing it. So let's get straight into it, starting with the one almost every single BMW owner is guilty of. Mistake 1. Short trips without letting the engine fully warm up. Mistake number 1 is the school run, the coffee run, the 5-minute drive to the gas station. It feels harmless. It is quietly one of the worst things you can do to a BMW engine. When you start the engine cold, the oil hasn't reached full operating temperature yet, and it takes several minutes of actual driving for that to happen. If your trip ends before the engine gets there, you're driving on oil that's still too thick to properly protect the tightest tolerances in the motor, and you're doing it over and over day after day. On top of that, short trips don't get exhaust temperatures high enough to burn off condensation and unburned fuel that builds up in the oil and in the exhaust system. That moisture mixes with combustion byproducts and slowly turns into sludge and acidic buildup, sitting right where your bearings and cam surfaces live. A BMW that only ever does 5-minute drives will rack up sludge and carbon buildup at a rate that a highway-driven BMW with triple the mileage will never see. It's not the miles that kill these engines. It's the number of cold starts that never get a chance to finish warming up. This is exactly why you'll see 2 BMW S of the same model year. One with 150,000 highway miles running perfectly, and another with 60,000 mostly short trip miles already showing sludge in the valve cover or a timing chain starting to rattle. Mileage on the odometer tells you almost nothing about how hard an engine's life has actually been. If most of your driving is short hops around town, the single best thing you can do is combine errands into one longer trip when possible, so the engine actually gets to operating temperature at least a few times a week instead of never. Mistake 2. Ignoring that faint coolant smell or the occasional low coolant light. Mistake number 2 is treating a coolant warning like a suggestion instead of an emergency. BMW cooling systems, especially on N54, N55, and N63 platforms, rely on electric water pump along with plastic cooling system components like the expansion tank, coolant necks, and various hose connectors. These parts are known for failing gradually, which means the warning signs are gradual too. A faint sweet smell, a coolant level that's a little low every few weeks, a temperature gauge that creeps a little higher than usual in traffic. Most owners top off the coolant, shrug, and move on. Here's the actual problem. On a turbocharged BMW engine, running even slightly hot for extended periods accelerates carbon deposit formation, degrades oil faster through thermal breakdown, and stresses head gaskets and turbo seals that are already working under high pressure. A cooling system that's slowly failing doesn't usually announce itself with a dramatic breakdown. It announces itself with small, easy-to-ignore symptoms for months before the day it finally lets go on the highway. By the time the warning light comes on for real, you're not looking at a coolant top-up anymore. You're looking at a full water pump, thermostat, and expansion tank job, and if it's overheated badly enough, potentially a head gasket. That's actually one of the exact failure patterns broken down engine by engine in the complete BMW Longevity Bible, including which cooling components fail first on which platforms and what the early warning signs actually look like before the dashboard tells you. Mistake 3. Revving the engine hard right after startup. Mistake number 3 is flooring it or even just revving the engine to move quickly in the first 60 seconds after starting the car. This is especially common with anyone who drives a BMW with a turbocharged engine and wants to hear it, or anyone in a hurry pulling out of a parking spot. The problem is that oil pressure takes a few seconds to fully build after a cold start, and oil needs time to actually circulate and coat every moving surface, especially up at the turbocharger, which spins at speeds most people can't even picture. On a cold start, that turbo is spinning on oil that hasn't fully reached it yet. Revving hard in that window is asking the turbo bearings and the top end of the engine to handle real load before they have full lubrication. Do that consistently, twice a day, for years, and you are shortening the life of your turbo and your upper engine internals in a way that never shows up as a single dramatic moment. It shows up down the road as unexplained turbo lag, a whining sound on spool, or a turbo that needs replacing earlier than it should have. Mistake 4. Using the wrong oil or stretching oil change intervals based on the dashboard reminder. Mistake number 4 is trusting BMW's own oil life indicator as if it's gospel, or using whatever oil is cheapest at the parts store instead of the actual spec. BMW's condition-based service system calculates oil change intervals based on driving conditions, and it can stretch out to 10,000, 12,000, even 15,000 miles between changes depending on how the car is driven. On paper, that sounds convenient. In reality, that interval assumes ideal driving conditions, mostly highway miles, full warm-up every trip, no excessive idling. Most owners aren't driving that way. Most owners are doing exactly what we talked about in mistake number 1. Short trips, stop-and-go traffic, lots of cold starts. Under those real-world conditions, oil breaks down and gets contaminated faster than the dashboard estimate accounts for. And on top of that, using an oil that isn't the correct BMW LL01 or LL04 spec, even if the viscosity number looks close enough, can affect how well the oil holds up to turbo heat and how well it protects the timing chain guides. This is one of the single most common ways people accidentally starve their engine of clean, properly rated oil, and it's not because they're neglectful. It's because they're following instructions that were designed for ideal conditions, not their actual daily commute. If you actually want a straightforward way to know when your oil needs changing instead of guessing based on a dashboard countdown, a cheap OBD2 scanner like the Foxwell NT530 lets you pull the real oil condition data and reset the service light yourself once you've changed it, instead of paying a shop just to clear a light. It's one of those tools that pays for itself the first time you use it. Mistake 5. Ignoring a rough idle or a check engine light because the car still drives fine. Mistake number 5 is the classic, it still drives fine, so I'll deal with it later. A rough idle, a slight hesitation on acceleration, a check engine light that comes on and then seems to go away. On most cars, deferring a minor issue is a mild inconvenience. On a BMW, and especially on the N20, N54, and N55 engines, a rough idle or a misfire code is very often connected to something that gets exponentially more expensive the longer it's ignored. A single ignition coil or a set of aging spark plugs causing a small misfire doesn't just feel like rough running. Unburned fuel from that misfire washes down the cylinder wall, past the piston rings, and dilutes your oil. Diluted oil doesn't lubricate as well. Poor lubrication accelerates where everywhere else in the engine. What started as an $80 ignition coil, ignored for a year, can very reasonably turn into carbon buildup on valves, a fouled catalytic converter, or accelerated where on the exact same rod bearings that cost thousands of dollars to replace. The engine isn't failing all at once. It's failing in a slow chain reaction that started with a $12 part nobody wanted to deal with. The "it still drives fine" mindset makes sense on almost any other car, but BMW engines, especially the turbocharged 4 and 6 cylinders from the last 15 years, don't really have a lot of margin built in for ignored small problems. They're tuned tightly for performance, which means a minor issue doesn't just sit there quietly. It compounds. Treating a check engine light as a same-week problem instead of a someday problem is one of the cheapest forms of insurance you can give this car. Mistake 6. Letting the car idle for a long time to warm it up in cold weather. Mistake number 6 is almost the opposite instinct of mistake number 1, and it's just as damaging. A lot of owners, especially in cold climates. Start the car and let it sit and idle in the driveway for 5 or 10 minutes before driving, thinking they're being gentle on the engine. Actually, prolonged idling is one of the worst ways to warm up a modern turbocharged engine. Idling generates very little heat compared to actual driving under light load, so the engine sits in that thick, cold oil state for far longer than it needs to. At the same time, idling allows unburned fuel to wash down the cylinder walls exactly like we just talked about in mistake number 5, which dilutes oil and contributes to carbon buildup on the intake valves, which BMW's direct injection engines are already prone to because fuel never washes over the back of those valves the way it does in older port injected engines. The correct move on a cold morning is to let the car idle for 30 seconds to a minute, just long enough for oil pressure to stabilize, and then drive it gently, allowing the engine to warm up through light, real-world load. 10 minutes of idling in the driveway isn't protecting your engine. It's aging it in place. Mistake 7. Skipping the transmission fluid because BMW called it lifetime fluid. Mistake number 7, and this is the one that costs people the most money down the line. Believing BMW's old claim that the ZF automatic transmission fluid is a lifetime fill that never needs to be changed. That term was never really about the life of your car. BMW's messaging historically referred to a lifetime fill, but ZF, the company that actually manufactures these transmissions, recommends periodic fluid and filter service on many of its units, generally somewhere in the 60,000 to 100,000 mile range, depending on the transmission. Transmission fluid breaks down under heat exactly like engine oil does, and it loses its ability to protect clutch packs and solenoids the longer it goes without being changed. Owners who never touch it are often the same ones who end up with hard shifting, a transmission that hesitates going into gear, or a shudder between second and third. Many dealerships simply follow the factory maintenance schedule, while experienced independent BMW specialists often recommend more preventative fluid service, and very often a fluid and filter service, done before 100,000 miles instead of never, would have prevented the wear that caused the problem in the first place. It's genuinely one of the cheapest maintenance items on the entire car relative to what it protects, and it's the one almost everybody skips because they were told they didn't have to do it. A proper fluid and filter service using the correct ZF Lifeguard Fluid 8, done at a competent independent shop instead of the dealer, typically runs a few $100s. A transmission rebuild or replacement on these ZF units runs well into the thousands. That's not a close call, and it's exactly the kind of maintenance item that gets skipped simply because nobody ever told the owner it was due. So that's 7 mistakes, and if you're being honest with yourself, you've probably made at least 2 or 3 of them without ever realizing it, because none of them feel like mistakes in the moment. That's really the whole point of this list. Nobody accidentally destroys a transmission in one afternoon or blows up a turbo in a single drive. These things happen in small, repeated decisions that feel completely reasonable at the time. They feel like normal life. A short errand, a cold morning warm-up, a check engine light you'll deal with next week. That's exactly why they're so dangerous. Nobody sets out to wreck their BMW. They just make small, invisible decisions like these for years, and then act surprised when the repair bill shows up. If you want the full picture of what actually kills these engines, in order mileage by mileage, along with the maintenance schedule that actually keeps a BMW alive past 200,000 miles instead of the one BMW hands you a delivery. That's exactly what the complete BMW Longevity Bible lays out, engine by engine, with the real intervals that matter. Link is in the description. Fix what you can from this list starting today, and I'll see you in the next one.